Welcome to The Joyous Edge, where we talk to top executives and performers about their journey, what they do when they're at their edge and breaking point, and what brings them joy in the everyday hustle.
This is the joyous edge. It's time to shine.
So, Joel, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Absolutely.
And I am so excited to have you here.
Me too.
When I met you, what was it, a few months back
Yeah.
at the member showcase,
Yeah.
like your energy and life is just so filled with joy. And I was like, okay, we definitely need to have Joel on this podcast.
I love it.
And your story is just, it's so amazing. So I would love for you to share with our listeners what was
Yeah.
the catalyst that really launched you on this path.
Yeah, man. When I think about that, it's, I'm a man of faith,
Yes.
and back in December,
Mm-hmm.
the Lord told me to leave everything,
Wow.
my job,
Mm-hmm.
and take a different path. And so, the catalyst that jump started where I'm at today was literally leaving 90% of my income on the table. And just for context, I'm married. I've got 3 boys.
3 boys,
We
I
got
know.
private school tuition. We got mortgages. We got bills. We got stuff to pay for.
You got legit bills.
We got legit bills. Like
Yes.
this isn't some, I'm early 20s. I can just,
Exactly.
jump and take a risk. And I'm the only one affected. This was
Right.
affecting a lot of people.
Right.
But I believe strongly that the Lord asked me to leave the comfort of where I was at to actually go on this adventure with him so he could actually show me where he wanted me to be.
Okay.
And so I'm on this journey now where I have the amazing opportunity to be doing what I love, which is coaching guys, but then also my faith as well, and speaking and pouring into people. And I get to spend a lot of time with people who are stuck and are just needing hope and are wondering what they were put on this life to do and who they are and all these things. And I believe that I was uniquely positioned to be able to speak specifically in their life. And I believe that God wanted me in a position where if someone asked me to do a podcast or if someone asked me to come and speak on a stage, I would have the flexibility to go and do that. And so it's the first time in my life where I feel I know why I'm here.
I love it. And how does that feel different from what you've been doing in the past?
Motive.
Motive.
Really,
Yeah.
motive. And the difference is, man, I was just on this journey where I just was trying to get to the money.
Right.
Like I was trying to build businesses and build
You're a
career.
hustler.
I'm a hustler. I
yeah,
am.
I get it. I know.
I am.
too.
And it's
I
just
love
like
it. I like
the rush of closing deals and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And, you say you do it in the name of your family and wanted to provide and all this stuff. And in it and of itself, earning money is not bad. Obviously, we all
Right.
need to do it. You need
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need income.
Right.
But the place in which it was rooted was really bad for me.
Right.
Because it was rooted from a place of I'm gonna just can I be real?
Yeah,
Can I
be real.
vulnerable?
Of
Yeah.
course. That's what we do
So
here.
it was rooted from a place of selfishness and self ambition
Wow.
and self promotion,
Yeah.
right? And I try to dress it up as like,
Yeah.
no, I'm doing it for my family, like I'm doing it for the kids, and we're gonna do this and have this. But I realized that my heart was not in the right place.
Right.
Just to tell a quick story to put this all into
Yes,
context,
I love it.
the birth of my second son.
Okay.
I remember I was working for this company and I was doing pretty well at this job, and I had clients that I was working with and stuff like that. And I was the guy that if a client calls or if I've got meetings, like I'm not moving anything. Like I'm taking the call, I'm taking the meeting, right? I'm going to serve them and do whatever I got to do to make sure that they have everything that they need. Well, my wife is pregnant. She goes through a pretty rough delivery with my second son. And we get through that and everything is all good. And at the time, I'm in real estate. We're flipping houses and we're doing all this stuff, and it was great. And we get home from the hospital. The day we get home from the hospital, I get a call about this property that is available. It is a steal. It is a deal, and I cannot pass up on it.
Wow.
And I will never forget this. I get the call. I'm excited about it. We had just stepped into the house. And I literally look at my wife in the eyes, who had just gone through a very difficult delivery with my second son.
Yeah.
My first son is 20 months,
Yeah.
young.
Crazy.
And I tell her like, hey, I got to go close on this deal real quick. I'll be back. And she's looking at me, baby in her arm, my oldest son there. And she's like, you got to go now? It's like, babe, we got to do this. And I got to get it now. Like, I'm going to miss out. We're going to miss out on this deal. This deal is going to be good for us. And I leave them there. Didn't think anything about it until years later when the Lord reminded me of that situation. And it's painful because that is a moment that I will never be able to get back or recreate. And the fact that I left the person that I love the most in this world, my best friend, in one of her most vulnerable states because I had to go close this deal. Because I had to go chase the money and all of that. And that is when I knew like I had an issue. My priorities were in the wrong place. Like it's
misalignment.
Like misalignment, 100%. The right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing. Right. Providing.
Wait, say that again.
The right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with earning money. There's nothing wrong with building businesses and pushing to the top and wanting to be ambitious. Nothing wrong with that. But when your wife just delivered a baby and you've got a little toddler at home, like you're the father of the house, you're her husband, your best friend. She needs you. And I should have been there for her and I wasn't. And so it took me on this whole journey of like, what am I actually doing? Like, is this it? Am I just gonna build and miss incredible moments with my family? And when people need me most, put it to the wayside because I can't miss another deal or another opportunity, you know? So.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Yes, this is this is a vulnerable, safe space, right? It's only going to be seen by all of our viewers out in the world.
I love it. I love it.
It's great. I love it. One thing that I want to ask is, what's the biggest challenge that your clients come to you with? Yeah. And how do you help them with it?
Yeah. So I work with busy executives, entrepreneurs, business owners, who find themselves having more responsibility than time and have not figured out how to gain consistency with their health and wellness. And so when it comes to those guys, a lot of times it's their schedules don't allow for them to produce results when it comes to their fitness, and they're frustrated by it. Like, it's like they know what to do, but the margin in which they have to do it is so small. And these guys are building teams, they're running organizations, right? They have real responsibilities. A lot of them are married, they have kids, and they have all these things going on. Like, the last thing that they're trying to figure out is like, how many sets, how many reps, what do I do? How do I eat? Like, I've got a client dinner, like, what do I eat at this restaurant? And all these different decisions when it comes to.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like that whole dinner thing is real because like you don't want to look like you're trying to make things extra. Yeah. And I know because I've done it too with the client dinners and with everything. You're like, oh, how do I eat healthy in this situation?
Yeah. And then also like the feeling of defeat that can come in that situation where it's like, man, I just strung together 2 or 3 days in a row. Like, I'm rolling, but I got this client dinner. Like, I can't miss it. And we're going to this steakhouse where it's mac and cheese and potatoes and all that stuff. Like, what do I get here? And a lot of them are just like, you know what, screw it. Like, I'm just gonna go in. And then you talk to them the next day or whatever. How's it going? Like, I'm just client dinner, had a couple drinks, and they're feeling all off track. And so it's this all or nothing mindset that most business owners and executives have. Like, if I cannot do it with perfection, without any type of deviation, then it's not worth doing at all. Amen. But that's not how our life works. Like, you have a real life that life be lifing sometimes. Like, you have to work within that, right? And so I tell all of my clients, it is not about perfection. It is about consistency in the right direction. Because if you go by perfection, you will fail every single time. And this is why we have people that lose weight and then it comes back, and then they lose weight and then it comes back. And you have all of the yo-yo of their health. We all know these people that like have lost the 15, 20 pounds, but like 5 times. Why is that?
If you're a senior leader who keeps saying yes because it feels easier than slowing down to prioritize, you're not alone. I work with leaders who are operating at a high level but paying for it with burnout, overwhelm, and self-abandonment. When you get clear on what actually matters, everything elevates. Your impact, your focus, your legacy, and your peace of mind. If you're ready for that kind of clarity, I'd love to talk. Book a free call with me at freejoycall.com. Exactly. It's because, well, a lot of it is too, is I think not prioritizing yourself, because I've been on this journey, this health journey, my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, I've been overweight. I've always been tall and solid
Yeah.
and had a lot of muscle, but I've also had a little bit of extra fluff, right?
Yeah.
And I've always been very self-conscious about it, but I don't let it show through, but I feel it on the inside, right?
Sure.
And it's like, oh, you can't eat this, you can't do that. You know, you don't want people to be like, oh, there goes the big girl doing whatever, you know? And it definitely takes a toll on your brain and your positive thoughts and all of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, on my journey, I totally agree with you. Consistency is key. And it's like, it's just having that constant move forward. Like I think about even just last night, we went out to dinner down in Nashville, right? And this whole week I've been good. I prepped all my meals. I actually brought it with me in a suitcase. I had a cooler pack. I checked the bag because I'm here for the whole week. So I got 10 meals I got to prep for, you know, here's what it is. And we were going out to dinner to just kind of celebrate finishing the content intensive and all of that. And the restaurants that were around, well, there were a bunch of bars down there because it was, you know, Broadway, whatever.
Yeah.
But the restaurant that we ended up choosing, it was, I'm not going to mention the name, but it was one that I have a tie to because my mom used to take me there for my birthdays. And so I was like, oh, you know, it's a chain one.
Yeah.
And I don't normally do chains, but I went there and I was like, oh yeah, they'll have steak, they'll have this, they'll have that. We get there and it was like nothing.
Didn't have
they're
any of
like,
that, yeah.
They're like, all of our vegetables are pre-soaked in butter and oil. Cause like I don't do butter and oil either. I have a blanch it. And I'm like, and I will always call ahead. We were just going and going and going. And yesterday I was like, crap, I forgot to call ahead and find a place that would be good, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to be in the moment.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, can I get do you have berries? And they're like, yeah, we have berries. They're like, you know, so I was able to get a side of berries to give me my fruit.
Yep.
And then I said, well, can I get a steak and just have it like blanched, not with any oils or anything like that? And they're like, yeah. So I did that.
Yeah.
But then they only had veggies that was like literally lettuce. That was it. And I was like, because I can't do oils, I can't do oil and vinegar. I can do vinegar. And I was like, okay, whatever. So thankfully I had veggies back in the fridge at the hotel. So I was able to do that. But it's like, you know, you can't beat yourself up.
No.
It's like you just do the best that you can.
Right.
And being kind of off 1 or 2 days is way better than being off the whole time.
100%.
You know?
100%. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's honestly, a lot of what I do is not really the programming and the nutrition protocol and all that. A lot of what I do is identity based and belief system based, because what I have to do with all of my clients is reshape how they think about their health and their wellness.
That's so
that
true.
they don't go into situations like that feeling guilty and feeling like, well, here we go again. Like I don't know what to do and all of this stuff. And it's like, hey, eat the cake. Have the cookie, eat the pizza, you're fine. Like live your life. Like we are building this in such a way that it actually adds value to your life, doesn't take away from it. So if you got a party, if you've got an event, if you've got a client dinner, we work around that. You don't have to not do those things because you feel like you have to sacrifice in order to get the body that you want or the health that you want. So a lot of it is actually reframing how we look at food. Like I always tell my clients, like we don't look at food is not good or bad. Food is food. That's how I need you to look at it. Because what's the problem is when we start doing this good and bad thing, then you start to have this unhealthy relationship and unhealthy expectation around the foods that you eat. And so food is fuel. So a lot of these guys, I'm telling them like, listen, like you've got to actually eat more. And it's counterintuitive to what they think. Like, no, I got to eat less. No, you don't. Your metabolism, the way that your body works when it actually is fueled properly. So we've got to actually have you eating more. And there's hesitation there. So like, you know, I'm doing a lot of mindset coaching and belief breaking and all of that in order to make sure that when we do get the result, I want who you are to actually match up with the result that you've gotten. So now it all of a sudden becomes, this is who I am. So this is what I do.
Right.
I am healthy. I am strong. I do have the physique. I have redefined what health looks like. So because of that, I eat a certain way. Because of that, I move a certain way, right? So if I can get them to attach their belief systems to the results that we've been able to help them get, now all of a sudden we don't get into this yo-yo situation, because
Right.
it's like, no, like, I'm a healthy person. Like, I'm
Right.
in the health and wellness. Like, I may not be a
Right.
bodybuilder. I may not compete or anything like that. But it's like
Right.
the way I view myself now is because I'm healthy, because I've changed how I look and how I feel about myself. And because now I'm more self-confident and I have the authority now and the identity that I once lacked, I now have. I do all of these things.
Right.
And when I can get someone there, you tend to see results lasting a lot longer. Because here's the thing, like, what I do is not rocket science,
Right.
right? Like, we all know, move your body, eat properly.
Right.
It should equal the result that you're looking for, right?
Right.
But the disconnect is that we have all of this information and there's this massive chasm between information and application.
So true.
And so this is where I come in and say, look, I already know you know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to customize it for you. But the whole point of this is accountability. It's coaching.
Yeah.
We all need it. Everybody needs coaching. And I'm not just talking
Right.
from a fitness standpoint.
No.
I'm talking business coaching. I'm talking mindset coaching. Like,
Right. Relationship coaching.
relationship coaching. You need people
communication.
speaking in your life that can help
Right.
keep you on track, right?
Right.
Because we all know the things, but it's like sometimes life's like I said before, and you need someone in your corner. Joy, I
Yeah.
got you. Here's what we got to
Exactly.
do. I know we're falling off the wayside, but let's get back over here. Here are the action items I want you to take. Here's the 2 things that I want you to
Right.
think about this week as you're going through X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And that is so impactful when you know that you're being held accountable to someone else for the ultimate result that you're looking for.
That's so true. And I think when I look back over my life, I mean, I've been hiring trainers and coaches since like straight out of college,
Yeah.
because I was significantly overweight in my last couple of years because I'd had some traumatic experiences happen
Right.
in college, and, eating, food was my comfort.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
what I went to, and that's what I turned to. I was always very active and healthy and fit. I could run or jog. I call it walk jogging, I could do that, but I was heavy, and I remember my first trainer out of college. She was so amazing, and it was a lot of that. It's like, look, you need to fuel yourself. We did a lot more like 3 solid meals and 2 snacks. And it was slow and steady, but consistent. And you build up that muscle, you build up that repetition. But to your point, it's like, I was at a point in my life where I was, fresh out of college. I wasn't happy with myself. I didn't see which direction that I was going.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to succeed in corporate. And I realized that health needed to be important and I need to prioritize myself, but I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel like it was, like I was worth it.
Yeah.
And so having my trainer there to coach me and to not even just coach, just be like, Joy, you can do this. Let's do 1 extra sprint to the top of the hill. Let's do 1 extra, because it was great because she was able to come to my house and everything like that. She was close. And so we didn't even do heavy weightlifting. It was all body.
Yeah.
It was all body weight and, movement and flexibility, and doing that combined with the food and the proper foods, really, really helped.
Yeah.
And I loved what you said about the fuel, like food being your fuel, because if you think about it, if you have a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something like that, you're not going to be using like the cheap stuff.
No.
You're going to be putting the premium,
Put premium in there.
And
Yes.
when you think about everything that's out there, the premium is all natural foods and all that. And
That's right.
it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, it can be very difficult. I think what I've been able to do, and I think when I made that mindset shift of food is fuel versus because I lived in New York for almost 13 years, and let me tell you, the food there is amazing.
I
You can
bet.
get anything and everything.
Yeah.
And I would go into the restaurants, I'd be, and they do customize. Most of them are like very good, even a lot of the very high end restaurants and things. And what I found was my, I think the times when I look back and look at the times where I'd fall off and I'd just give up, it was me. My self-worth was in the gutter, and it was me beating myself up, being like, you know what, you got to do this, you need to do that, you don't deserve the focus, you don't deserve this because you've got to help everybody else and change the world and do this and do that. And a big mindset shift for me has been like, you need to lead by example.
Right.
Like your actions need to align with what you're saying. You need to, you know what you're doing, you know what you need to do. And there was a time where I was definitely very misaligned. And it was, you know, it wasn't because of anybody else. It was all internal, you know, and it was doing bad habits because I didn't feel like I deserved some of the good habits and I wasn't worthy of doing that. And I think that's some of the things that a lot of our listeners, you know, struggle with. So if I can ask you, what is the time, like, what is somebody that could be struggling? Like, let's say somebody's struggling with that.
Yeah.
What would you say to them to say, hey, you need to prioritize yourself? Like, what are some of your things there where you're like, your health is your priority. You need to be there.
Yeah. I believe that none of us can do what we are called to do if we are not healthy enough to do it. Like, I believe that every single human, every single listener to this podcast, I personally believe that there is an assignment on your life. There is something that you were created for. There is something that you were purposed for.
Right.
But you can get in your own way of that if you do not prioritize the one thing that matters above all else, which is your health. Because what I like to tell people is this, like, this body, this fleshly body that we have right here, you can't go and trade it in. This ain't a car. You get one.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You get one. So it is your job. It's my job to steward that one body as well as we possibly can. And so what I would say is, when you take care of your health and you are in shape, and I'm not talking physique and I'm not talking aesthetics and all that, to me, that's a byproduct.
Right.
Why I do what I do is because I know what it does to the mind. I know what it does to the spirit. Like, I know what it does for self-confidence. I know what it does to people who are in positions that are speaking on stages and leading teams and are doing deals with people and working with clients. Like, when you feel confident in who you are, it changes things. Like, when your body is almost like this resume that you give out without saying anything when you walk into a room.
Exactly.
And so, like, when you walk into a room, people can automatically see, like, dang, Joy's she's a disciplined person.
Right.
Like, she can endure pain. She can endure difficult situations. Like, how do I know this? Because I'm just looking at her. She didn't say one word, but I can see the way she carries herself, the way her aesthetic looks is already speaking volumes before she has said one word.
Right.
And that matters when you're trying to control a room and when you're trying to be the person that needs to get the team to come together, right? So, like, people, I'm sure a lot of the people that are listening to this podcast, you're executives, right? Like, you have teams. You have a standard that you hold your team to.
Right.
One thing that I tell all of my guys is, listen, you hold your team to this specific standard, and it is a high one because I know what you do. A lot of these guys are, you know, 7- and 8-figure businesses, and you can't have a business that size and not have some sort of standard. But when you look in the mirror, the disconnect is the standard that you hold your team to and the standard that you want to hold yourself to. The person staring back at you, you know, deep down inside, you are not upheld to that same standard. And now we have these identity issues. And now we have these belief system issues because, you know, every time you walk by that mirror, you look at yourself, you are not the man, you are not the woman that you know that you can and should be because you have all this responsibility around you, right? You have all this weight, right? This pressure that you're holding, all the people that count on you. You know that you need to be the person to be able to lead them and lead them well. I think when we're able to take care of ourselves, it actually inherently takes care of all the other people around us. And so I think we get it backwards a lot of times. It's like we pour out so much. Like, you got this cup right here that's full of water. There's no water in it, and we still are trying to, like, get
Get every
drops
last
out
drop.
of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like you gotta get this refill. You gotta step back, recharge, and I gotta go fill this back up again. So
Right.
then I actually have something to pour out into my marriage, to pour out for my kids, to pour out to my team, right? If you too many people are pouring from an empty
Right.
cup, and this is where I feel like misalignment and burnout happens, right? You're racing to the top. You're trying to go from the manager level to the director level to VP level, then you got the C-suite level, and you're on this trajectory.
Right.
And when you don't stop to make sure that you are okay,
Right.
you'll get to the top and it won't even matter anymore.
Right.
You'll have everything that you thought you wanted and still feel empty.
Yeah, no, that is such a great point, because I know, what I think about is like when I was on that journey, right? When I was on my journey to get promoted for managing director, and when I started thinking about the journey to partner, I mean, there were so many times where I was like, is this even worth it? Like, what am I doing to myself? At the time, I was like, this is my path. I know it is. I got to go this way. I want this where I'm going to be able to make the biggest difference.
Right.
And it was really, I think the toughest thing for me was walking away from all that, because I was like, and to your point, I'm a woman of faith too. And I had these like little voices saying like, this isn't it. This isn't it.
Yeah.
And so but I'm also like, I never forget, I had a boss one time tell me, I need a bulldog who can go in there, charge through, and get things done. I was like, I'm your girl.
Yep.
I can do it.
Yep.
I don't care what people think about me. I'm going to
Yep.
do it. And
Yep.
then backlash from that was lots of relationship damage, and I had to work through and regenerate and rebuild trust,
Yes.
But, thinking through, it's like, oh, I'm going to push through it. I got it. This is just a test. This is just a test.
Yeah.
And it is a test.
Yeah.
But it's also a time for you to step back and reflect, to say, okay, is this really what God's plans are for me?
That's right.
And what is my true purpose in life?
Yeah.
And, so really, when you're going through that, I think putting health as a priority.
Yeah.
And especially if you do have kids or young people that are around you, like I serve in our vacation Bible school and our daily Sunday school. And I love that. That totally fills my cup, seeing these kids and seeing the positive things that they're learning. But they learn from you.
Yes.
Not just by what you say, and
right.
especially not by what you say, but by what you do.
Yeah.
And they see how you react and the things that you do. And it's like, oh, shoot, I need to be accountable. Like when I went on my leader path, it wasn't for me, because I was like, I don't care if I'm a leader or not a leader or whatever. I knew, because I've been told my whole life, and I just felt called to. I'm like, I know that God's plan is for me to be a leader, but I definitely felt like I was doing it for everybody else.
Yeah.
And when I didn't have the strength within or the accountability within, I knew that I had to push through to be the strong backbone and strength for the team.
Right.
And to be that foundation, and if you don't get your health and wellness and your mindset in check, you can't be that strong foundation for your team.
Yeah.
And I know it's tough, because
is.
let me tell you, as we get up there and as a leader, all you're doing is getting criticism. You
That's
rarely get the rewards and the great job, this, that, and the other. It's I want, I need.
Yep.
It's not fast enough. It's not this. It's not that. You need to fix this. And it's because we've built a tough skin and are resilient. And and you learn not to take it personal. You know, there's still people that trigger you, but you learn not to take it personal. But you've got to prioritize your health, because I know there have been plenty of times where I'd pull all-nighters, right? Like, especially early in my career, I'm like, you used to view that as a badge of courage, and it's like, I'm just going to push through and get it done.
Yep.
And I would sit there and, the leader would be like, my leader would be like, Joy, like, you don't have to do that. Like, let's come up with a plan. Let's take a step back, come up with a plan, and replan. So I
good.
know we have 2 last questions I want to ask you.
Yeah.
One thing is, what is one thing you would like our listeners to take away from today?
The one thing I'd like for them to take away would be to upgrade your operating system.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is the ceilings in which we put on ourselves are going to be the hindrance to your breakthrough and what you ultimately want.
Okay.
And so a lot of the people that I work with are trying to use old methods in new seasons, which is why they're feeling stuck and which is why they feel like
Got
they
it.
can't get what they want out of this new season, right? You're not 20 anymore, 25
Right.
anymore with no responsibilities. Now you are 40, 45, 50, family, more responsibility than time. The methodology in which you used to get in shape in the past will no longer work in your new reality of life.
Right.
So we got to upgrade that operating system. We got to upgrade what you do and how you do to fit it into your new reality of life so
Yeah.
that it actually is going to yield the result that you want. And so that's not even just a fitness thing. It's
Right.
also an identity thing. It's a belief system thing because at the end of the day, we were always going to get out of life the ceiling in which we are able to believe.
Right.
And so this is why like limiting beliefs and fears and failures and all that stuff can be damaging because I'm telling you, you set the ceiling for you.
Yeah.
And if we can have people in our life that actually can speak life into us and raise that ceiling and raise what's possible, I believe that you're going to have another generation of people that will believe for more and actually get more done and accomplish more in this world because they're not they won't succumb to the floor. Like they're always reaching and pushing up higher
Right.
and removing those limiting beliefs.
Right. That is great. And now the final question is, what brings you joy?
Man, what brings me joy? What brings me joy is the same thing that brings me stress. It's the same thing that brings me anxiety at times. It's the same thing that causes me to be so tired, but it's such a blessing. The thing that brings me joy is knowing finally that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be doing the thing that I was created to do. And that is to edify people. That is to help people build their mind, their body, and their spirit. And it is incredible. Like when I'm able to work with someone and marry the two things that I believe that the Lord has uniquely gifted me in, faith and fitness, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's like I heard this quote one time, like the two best days of your life is one, the day that you were born, and then when you find out why.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I
love
recently
that.
found out why December of 2025 at the age of 34.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, Joel, I want to thank you so much for sharing your journey
Yes.
and your experience and your
course.
knowledge with our community. And I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Joy.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe. All the information can be found in the show notes. And until next time, keep your joyous edge. See you next week.